We'll do, ma'am. We'll follow the same order. My colleague Rahalya or Nitu will introduce you first, and then we'll start with your session, followed by you, Mayank, and then last Swamini, ma'am. And at the end, last 10 to 15 minutes, we'll take combinedly questions for the three speakers. So this is what the flow.
Have you given access to share to Dr. Preeti?
I'll give you.
It's showing can't share the content.
Yeah, I'll give you. Just give you a minute. Yeah, so it's time now. I think we should start now, Rahalya.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the 179th webinar of our Saturday webinar series, hosted by Manage, Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship. So myself, Dr. Rahalya, working as a Manage Fellow. So before going to the session, let me give a short introduction about our center. Manage, Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship. It stands as a beacon of excellence in agribusiness incubation. It's operating under the esteemed National Institute of Agriculture Extension Management. With a rich history of nurturing entrepreneurship, our center has been instrumental in guiding 754 entrepreneurs and fostering the growth of over 383 startups across various sectors within the agriculture domain. We pride ourselves on our comprehensive support system, offering guidance and training to startups in crucial areas such as agro-processing, post-harvest technologies, value addition, farm mechanization, animal husbandry, commodity trading, supply chain management, and agri-consultancy. Our commitment to the success of agripreneurs knows no bound, as we continue to refine their concept and empower them to expand their ventures. So today's webinar is particularly exciting as we delve into the theme of community engagement and empowerment in agripreneurship. So we are delighted to have three esteemed speakers with us. And our first speaker is Dr. Preeti Savairam. Currently, she is working as a project director at Atma Government of Maharashtra. Dr. Preeti Savairam, she brings a wealth of experience and expertise to our event today. With over 2 decades of dedicated service in the Department of Agriculture, Government of Maharashtra, she has demonstrated her commitment to advancing agriculture initiatives and fostering innovations within the sectors. Her extensive background in various capacities within the Department of Agriculture showcase her versatility and leadership skills. From her roles as technical officers in soil conservation to her editorial contribution as sub-editor for the departments of magazine, Shetkari, she has consistently contributed to the advancement of agricultural practices and knowledge dissemination. Moreover, her involvement in the World Bank-funded SMART project as a capacity-building expert underscores her proficiency in driving innovation and technology adoption within the agriculture community. So her dedication to the fostering farmer producer organization further highlights her commitment to enhancing the livelihood of farmers and promoting sustainable agricultural practices. So we are honored to have our Dr. Preeti ma'am as our speaker. So please join me in welcoming our first speaker, Dr. Preeti Savairam. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, Preeti ma'am, I have given you the access to share your PPT. Can you check it now? Yes, I can see. Ma'am, you're on mute. Let me unmute you. Yeah. I can hear you, ma'am.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Can you make it full screen mode, ma'am? Presentation.
Okay. Yeah, so thanks a lot, Manage team, for inviting me on this important webinar series on agripreneurship. So today I will present you on the institutional support offered by the government. So as we largely know that India's gross domestic product is contributing 16% to the GDP and employment 43% of the Indian workforce. And agriculture is such a major contributor, you can see here. Several industries heavily are dependent on the agriculture output, such as consumer packaged goods, retail, chemicals, and e-commerce. India, the world's largest producer of milk and pulses, jutes and spices, and largest producer of rice, wheat, cotton, sugarcane, groundnut, fruits, and vegetables. And on the part of export, we are also contributing almost 2,84,000 crores.
Ma'am, sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you. You need to make a presentation in full screen mode, ma'am. We can't see it full screen mode.
You open your
Okay.
And also, I can see you have turned on your video, but still we can't see you on the screen. Maybe camera you need to adjust, madam. Uh, anyway, ma'am, we can go ahead. So we can see your presentation, not an issue. We have to just make it to Zoom screen.
Next.
screen.
No issue, ma'am. We'll go ahead.
New technology.
Okay.
So is it visible now?
Yeah, it's loaded, ma'am. We can see. Can you make it full screen mode now?
Yeah, it's already full screen.
Yeah, anyway, ma'am, I think you have shared the screen only. Not an issue, ma'am. We'll go ahead. We can zoom it. Not an issue. We'll do it. Go ahead, ma'am, please.
Moving?
Yeah, we can go ahead, ma'am, with this only. Not an issue. We can see the presentation.
Screen is mute.
So the key challenges in agriculture sector, as we all know, is lower yields in crops such as cereals, uh, which is lower in India by 50% compared to the countries such as US and China, and presence of numerous intermediaries. These are disrupting the value chains nowadays. We can see limited access to technology, credit, and marketplaces are some of the other challenges in India's agriculture sector, which is grappling with. So, coming to agri value chain, I will explain you the shifting trend. Initially, we used to produce first and then sell, but now the trend is changing in the value chains. We are knowing the market first and then the produce to the specifications. So this requires farmers awareness regarding who are their end customers and consumers, in what agriculture, in what way agricultural chain they can contribute in, and that awareness is spread on each actor's side of the value chain. So there's a huge gaps between farmers and exporters we can see in the agri-value chain in terms of inputs, infrastructure, storage,
Sorry,
transportation.
ma'am, but we can see still your third slide only. Can see only third slide.
Otherwise, Samit, can you get and share from our end?
Yeah, ma'am. Is
The
it possible?
PPT through WhatsApp, and can you share from our end?
Yeah.
I will just तुझ्याकडे ना बोगस लोक आहेत.
Ma'am, we'll wait to get your PPTs, ma'am. You can share it with me. I think by the time we should get, as Mayank is already here, so we'll start with him. By the time, ma'am, you can share the PPT, so we'll share it from our end. So I request Neetu or maybe Rahalya to introduce Mayank. We'll start with him, and then we'll request once again to Dr. Preeti to start. Neetu or Rahalya?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, sir. A very good morning to one and all. Our next speaker is Mr. Mayank Jain, co-founder and CEO of Sumar. Mr. Mayank is a seasoned entrepreneur with more than 10 years of experience working in agricultural livelihood, agtech, and high-tech industry. He serves grassroots and integrate novel work methods, business innovations, and product innovations into work environment. Sumat is headquartered in Gaya, Bihar, to support farmers in their economic growth by providing 360-degree solutions from crop planning to ensure market linkage in agriculture. Its core area is market linked agriculture, with objective to make agriculture effortless, profitable, and less risky. More than 4,000 youth have got empowered by adopting various agri models of Sumat, and their average annual income has increased. There are 3,000 individuals who are a part of this FPO, and more than 50 youth have started their retail enterprise in local market. So with this, I would like to invite Mr. Jayang, Mr. Mayank Jain. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Hello, Mayank, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think you're on mute. Yeah.
Sure. Am I audible
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. You're audible. We'll be sharing your presentation from our
Yeah. So I will just share a brief video of 90 seconds, and then we will go
Fine.
to the presentation. So I will just share the video.
Okay. 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll make you presenter.
So the presentation is so the video is a little bit glimpse into our work in the communities and how do we promote agri entrepreneurship at grassroots.
Perfect.
So this
Now
is
you
from
can
one
just
of our project which is based on mushroom cultivation in Gaya, Bihar. And currently, mushroom has been selected as under one district, one product in Gaya. So I will just share a glimpse of around 100-second video of the way how we approach on community angle.
कुछ बदल रहा कुछ बदलेंगे कब बदलेगा जब बदलेंगे कुछ देखा है कुछ देखेंगे कुछ लिखा है कुछ लिख देंगे यारो चलो बदलने की रुत है यारो चलो संवरने की रुत है यारो चलो बदलने की रुत है यारो चलो संवरने की रुत है हवा कह रही तू ठहरना नहीं कदम कह रहा तू बिखरना नहीं जमीन कह रही मुझको छू के तो दे और आंख मिला सच से डरना नहीं यारो चलो बदलने की रुत है यारो चलो संवरने की रुत है यारो चलो
Thank you. Yeah. So Amit, maybe you can proceed ahead with the presentation. That will be fine.
Yeah. Our team will share it, sir. By the time you can start it.
Yeah. So good morning to everyone. My name is Mayank, and I am co-founder and CEO of Samarth. We are a not-for-profit based out of Bihar in Gaya. So maybe if my presentation is ready. Yep. So we will be talking about our experiences on ground, that what we have done till now, and how do we take our approach towards community engagement and empowerment in agripreneurship. Because first and foremost, how we see statistically that if we see how it goes globally, more than 50% of poors are engaged in agriculture, and it becomes very important for us when we talk about the economic development of the country or of any region, or even for poverty alleviation. It's very imperative that we cannot leave agriculture behind. So in order to move ahead with how we can transform agriculture or economic empowerment at grassroots, agripreneurship is one of the most critical things. Maybe we can move to next slide. So we are a not-for-profit. We are working since 2015, and our primary mode of engagements are into agriculture-based livelihoods, providing skill development and capacity building to existing entrepreneurs or micro-entrepreneurs who are working on field, to facilitate institutional capacity building for self-help groups and FPOs who are already there, as well as promote women entrepreneurship and empowerment. So we try to mainstream our engagement. So for example, there are already many institutions which have been built up. So we try to upskill them through our services. And then just to have a social fabric intact and to have a social engineering process at grassroots, we are also engaged in menstrual health and hygiene services to women, as well as promotion of self-help groups and farmer producer organizations. So in our existence of last decade, we have worked directly with 25,000 beneficiaries on field, and we have more than 2 lakh indirect beneficiaries. And out of that, around 60% of our working force is primarily women. So we can move to next slide. So this is just glimpse of different activities which we do on field and how we are trying to put everyone into a mainstream and work towards a common goal. So these are just pictures of some of our interventions on field, where we have worked on onion production, onion trainings, and onion market linkages, as well as community-based mushroom growing and market linkages. We also have done backyard poultry, and we are also doing a promotion of rural mart with the help of various government agencies. Next slide, please. So what is Samarth's model of agri-social development? And as Neetuji has already mentioned, that we are working towards making farming a respectable profession. And our holistic intervention model is basically focusing upon providing end-to-end services for anybody who is engaged into agriculture. So we say that people have lack of time, so they don't have access to time. So when we say they don't have access to time, we mean that they don't have access to technologies, they don't have access to information, they don't have access to markets, and they don't have access to overall ecosystem. So when we try to see that what is the main problem at the nutshell, we believe that people don't have this access to time. That's what is creating a problem. So we have created a holistic model where we focus upon risk mitigation for whoever is engaged in agricultural activity. Simultaneously, we provide them rigorous monitoring. We try to mainstream them with various schemes which are there, as well as we try to mitigate the pain points in the value chain. And first and foremost thing, we try to provide them market linkages. So maybe we can move to a next slide. Yeah, next slide, please. So these are just pictures. So our interventions, they have also made a policy impact at state level particularly. So we are working on mushrooms since 2017, and thanks to the efforts of government of Bihar, various different development agencies, as well as grassroots organizations like us, mushroom was included as one as a focus crop under One District One Product in 2020 for Gaya district in Bihar. And right now, Gaya has a very thriving ecosystem where more than 3,000 mushroom growers are being supported. And it has created a new wave of agri-entrepreneurship in the entire district, whereby engaging themselves in a period of 4 to 5 months, a rural women, Gaya is one of the districts where the SC population is one of the largest in India, and a rural woman is able to earn around 25,000 to 30,000 rupees in a period of 75 days. So that is a kind of a drastic revolution which is coming at a very grassroots level. Apart from it, we have also been instrumental in policy inclusion of rooftop gardening in agriculture roadmap for Bihar in 2017 to 22 in partnership with Atma Bihar in Atma Gaya. And we have trained more than 9,000 women on entrepreneurship development, which helps in mitigating their risks and providing them psychological support in carrying on their activities. So maybe we can move to next slide. So this is our core philosophy, that what we think is the way forward to promote community engagement and entrepreneurship in true sense. So this is our working approach of how we take things forward on ground. And as I've already mentioned, that we believe that there is lack of access to time to everyone, access to technology, access to information, access to markets, and access to ecosystem. So we have to create a channel for change. And when we say channel for change, so it's a kind of acronym for us. So I will just put the anatomy of create model for you. So first and foremost, we believe that when people come up, they need to be understood, and there is certain expectations which needs to be met. So whatever intervention we do, we have this core philosophy. So the first is critical interventions. So anything we do, any product we promote, for example, let's say it's mushroom. So in its life cycle, there are various stages. So we identify 4 to 5 points where we think that people, by investing a very small amount, are getting some behavioral change in how they do that kind of farming. They can maximize the profits for them. So for example, when there is a kid, we have a vaccination schedule for the person so that the person does not get infested by diseases when they grow up. Similarly, we try to break down any agricultural activity into these small blocks, and we identify 3 to 5 basic interventions which we think can be implemented by anybody who is into that farming. That is the first thing. So the critical interventions, post critical interventions, it becomes very important to have regular follow-ups and interaction with people. And given how people work, so if there are 100 people with whom you are working, you can see that it's a bell curve where 70% of the people will listen to you. But remaining 30%, it will have a kind of a persons who are risk taking in one sense, and some are who are totally anti to whatever you are saying. So you have to hold these people, all these people together, and you have to have a strategy for the same. For example, anybody who is self motivated, you just have to interact with them over a period of 1 month, once in a month. But people who are looking for genuinely or considerations and consultations, you have to engage with them on digital helplines like WhatsApp or telephonically, or maybe once in a week kind of a thing. And then there are people who just are there as observers. So you have to just keep them engaged. It's not necessarily that you dictate them what they need to do, but you have to have a mode of communication with them. So that's what we ensure in regular follow-ups, that we are able to listen to their problems and we are able to provide them a strategic solution for the same. Then in agriculture, please. Yeah. In agriculture, economic value creation is must. So many times we say that agriculture is a lifestyle or a way of living for many people, but at the end of the day, we have to understand that it's also a means of survival for people. So it's much beyond subsistence, and we have to have that vision and that clarity of thought, and we have to impart them to the communities. So economic value creation is must. And yes, people do have assets, people do have lands, but they don't have this liquid cash to spend. So having that short term gains will definitely help them, the communities, to boost themselves for health and education and other demands of themselves. Similarly, in agriculture, you cannot just rely on typical traditional agriculture to sustain yourself. You have to move towards livestock, towards allied agri activities like apiculture, or for that matter, vermicomposting or beekeeping. So, engaging oneself in allied agri activities to generate a stream of revenue for oneself is very critical for the success of people at grassroots. So this is what we come to allied agri activities. Now, so this is something which is the first 4 things, CREA. This is very unique to each individual. But then we talk about ecosystem enablement and how we can make people learn from each other. So the technical demonstrations, whether it's mobile demonstrations, which is being done by agriculture extension services like ATMAs or KVKs for that matter, or maybe through YouTube videos, sensitization through YouTube videos, some campaigns being run by various agencies to make people aware about things, some capacity building and field trips and exposure visits which are being done. So it becomes very important for people to have those kind of visual sensing of how things could be done. So that technical demonstrations help. And at the end of the day, ecosystem enablement. So in our approach, we are firm believer that we are bound to do first 20% of the work, and then the karma will do its wonder, and 80% of the work will be done by the agriculture department, because government is one of the primary stakeholders in agriculture. And then there are different philanthropies, different financial institutions which support an individual. So this is our create model of agri entrepreneurship, what we firmly believe in. And in past 10 years, we have supported a FPO, which has grown, which was established in 2019 with 10 BODs and 10 members. And right now it has around 1,000 registered shareholders and more than 3,000 members whom it is serving. And this year it has clocked a turnover of around 1.5 crores without any agricultural inputs, purely through the collective power of people. So maybe we can move to next slide. So this is just a demonstration of how our 360-degree support from seed to sale work for various people. This is for onion value chain. So we help them in seed and nursery preparation. We help them through our critical intervention and transplantation. We give them very minimalistic intervention, that how just investing around 10 rupees for seed treatment or root treatment can increase their yield by around 1 ton, and also decrease the cost of pest and disease management. Similarly, we do on-site monitoring. Next slide, please. So once these are done, the post-harvest technology is told to them. We try to ensure doorstep procurement of produce from them. We also mitigate their risks by helping them avoid distress selling of their produce. So as an institution, we provide guaranteed buyback linkages to anybody who is working with us. And if I tell you an interesting fact, that despite that we provide this buyback guarantee to people, 95% of the people never return to us for their selling. But yes, whenever they have abundant produce to sell, they always turn up to us, and we have never disappointed them till now. So so we have trading, pack house and everything for
Sorry
them.
to interrupt.
Yeah.
Mayank, can you next 3 minutes you can complete your presentation?
Yeah. It will happen. Yeah. Thank you. Similarly, next slide, please. In the similar model, we have worked in mushrooms, where we provide them the trainings for mushroom growing. We provide them input supply for mushroom production, the ready to grow fruit bags. We also provide them capacity to retrofit their growing room within their houses. So in mushroom, in a 10 by 10 square feet room, by investing around 6,500 to 7,000 rupees, the member is able to earn around 25,000 rupees in a period of 75 days. That's what we have seen, and we facilitate them with all these things. And apart from it, next slide, please. Yeah, so we provide them guaranteed buyback linkages, and so that helps them in getting the right amount for their produce. Yeah. Next slide. So these are some of the coverages of our work, what has happened and how it has helped farmers grow. And next slide, please. Yeah. So these are small initiatives what our members are taking. So just accept, apart from being engaged in agricultural activity, there are also who are doing into woodwork. On the basis of special festivals, they try to make value added cookies and processing. So we try to provide them digital marketing as well as on ground marketing support and sales support to them. So these are some of the interventions which have helped our farmers to grow strong as a community and to mitigate the risk. Next slide, please. So here you can see that they are also working on coconut. They are also producing moringa powder-based cookies, and then they're also doing strawberries as a pilot. So these are the kind of interventions which help them keep lively, keep engaged as a community, and thrive forward towards growth and progress. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mayank, to share very inspiring and wonderful story about the startup. And you rightly mentioned the belief that the create pathway, to keep each and every stakeholder active in this community. So it's really crucial to talk with the farmers and provide the 360 support that you mentioned. It's really commendable. And definitely the participants do have the questions related with you. So already they have put it in the chat box, but I request to participants, if you want to ask a question, you can directly raise your hands so that we will allow you to ask question directly to the mic. And that will take up our after the next speaker's session. So I can see Dr. Preeti, she joined once again here. So we'll just try with her whether she can able to share her presentation. Dr.
Sir,
Preeti,
I'm
can you
sharing
try?
PPT, sir. I'm sharing PowerPoint, sir. Share with you, sir.
Yeah. One second. Have you sent it over email, ma'am, or on the WhatsApp? Hello?
Amit, sir, I shared you, sir, PPT. Kindly check.
Yeah, I just got it. Maybe Rahalya, can you able to share it from your side? Next. I hope my screen is visible. Can you confirm?
Sir, it's not visible, sir.
No, sir, it is not visible, sir.
We try it once again. There is some problem with the file actually. Let me try once again. I'll try to. Screen is visible now.
Yes, sir. Now it is visible, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. I think we can start now if it is visible. Hello. 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 Hello.
Ma'am, you're not audible, ma'am. Preeti, ma'am.
Yeah. Preeti ma'am, are you there? Can anyone confirm whether she's audible or I'm audible to you?
Ma'am,
It's not audible, sir.
it's not audible. She's trying to say something. Her mic is on, but it's not audible to us.
Hello, Dr. Preeti ma'am, are you there? Maybe once again, I request Rahalya to just check with ma'am. Anyway, time is very short now. We'll be check with Dr. Swamini is there. So I'll request to my colleague Neetu to introduce Dr. Swamini, and then again we'll get back to the Dr. Preeti ma'am. Rahalya is there. Rahalya can introduce to Dr. Swamini.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So our next speaker is Dr. Soumini Sunkara. So she's a founder and managing director at Agrigar Surveys for Private Limited in Hyderabad, Telangana. And she's also co-founder in Women Energy Association of Incubators in Manufacturing sector. So Dr. Soumini is a techie by education and a social entrepreneur by choice. And her passion towards development sector helped her have strong footing in both world of science and business. She has an instinct of entrepreneurial attributes with the backing of sound academic and networking abilities. So she is an agri-professional holding doctorate of philosophy in biotechnology with 15 years of experience in research and management of various national and international projects related to rural and agri livelihood, agri value chains, farmer producer organization, and entrepreneurship. Besides, she is also an executive member of Gram Bharati, working towards natural farming and village development activities across Telangana. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Soumini ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Manoj, for giving me this opportunity. Just give me a moment to, yeah, I'm not familiar with WebEx. I'll just take a moment. If it is visible, can someone confirm my
Yeah,
presentation?
it's loaded, ma'am. Need
I
to
can
make it full
use
screen.
slideshow mode.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, good to go, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Manoj, for choosing on this. Yeah, it's like Women's Day a day after that, and two of the panelists are women. I wish everyone a happy Women's Day on behalf of Agrigar and VA. This is one of the great opportunity for us. I'm Dr. Soumni, as introduced. I'm the founder and managing director of Agri Services Private Limited and also co-founder for VAIM, Women Entrepreneurship Association. So we are working together in agri entrepreneurship and also the women entrepreneurship as sustainable rural livelihoods. Before taking much time, I would like to brief about my presentation and then I'll take the questions. Thank you once again, Manish, for giving this opportunity. So the current challenge, what we are facing is execution from seed to plate. I thought that Preeti's presentation would prefix my presentation. So maybe I would not take much of her slides because I've seen a couple of her slides. So the challenge would be execution from seed to plate, and most of the organizations like Amit or Preeti or any other organization are working on the production side, and we as an a stakeholder in the value chain, we would like to place our aggregator in the post-harvest segment. Why? Because we have chosen this. Most of the organizations are working on community organizations, building CPBO, building this farmer producer organizations, farmer networks, and most of the agricultural departments are working on the production level. And the universities are working on the technology front, improvising new varieties and everything. So we didn't expect that to be again placing that, but where there was a gap in the value chain, we thought we will contribute our side efforts into the processing, and our efforts start from the post harvest. So as Amit said, yes, we are facing still problems with the FPOs, though we go with the agreements, like they don't come up with that, and we finally end up in dealing with the markets. So this is again a problem with even the industry part. It's like one, though we plan our processing in the format of how the production is, like Preeti said, it's like it's now changing from market orientation, but still there is a problem again in connecting all these stakeholders. So aggregator by its name, it would like to propose itself as a one-stop platform where we want to promote more of agri entrepreneurship opportunities in the segment, and also not only promotion, but we also give lot of support systems which I'll brief through my presentation. So since we were given the opportunity of briefing about agri entrepreneurship opportunities, I will just familiarize the audience with the opportunities which are there in food processing, where I'm trying to specialize, being a major stakeholder in training and also building the capacities of the farmers or the farmer networks or the entrepreneurs in this segment. So why we have chosen food processing? Because agriculture based industrial products account to half of all exports from developing countries, and we would like to give this opportunity to all the farmers or the farmer organizations who have already been developed as one of the biggest opportunity, because India being placed in a very right position on date, it has to advance in the food processing, and it is yet to take the actual benefit of what it has the potential with. So we why we are chosen the rural livelihoods or rural entrepreneurship is like, by continuing to operate at low level of value chain, we are also minimizing the operational cost, and also being the benefit, transferring the benefit to the stakeholders. So Indian food processing sector at a glance is displayed in this slide. I would not take much of my time in briefing all the GDP values and all this. Anyway, I will share this presentation to manage once I finish my presentation, and then it can be shared. This is the scenario of the global food market, and we have to always check where we stand. So when we are talking about food processing industry or the units, the major challenge would be like, it is not realized its potential, as I said. The reasons would be the appropriate food processing units on small scale are not available, and also the rising energy cost. However, an entire food processing industry can be developed in rural areas, augmenting income and employment. So I will take a few minutes to give some beautiful presentation of pictures, and where you can always be inspired. And this is like a simple crop profile. By taking the simple crop profile of basic southern India or the entire India. So rice would be the major produce in southern India. So when we talk about rice production, it's like Telangana being the seed bowl of India. It has huge production value, and but the value addition is not at the par of that. So we are trying to do like I've represented like different value addition aspects here, and I just want to make it a statistical representation, saying that this is a kind of a representation where we say, if you are selling paddy at 18 rupees per kg, you can, if you are selling rice, it's always the secondary part of the value addition, and the further value addition follows up with the rice flour and murku, which has the brighter income generation aspect. And the mini rice mills, what we are promoting is like, we have our own unit established in Chautapal Industrial Estate. We invite everyone to visit this, because this mini processing units can be established in a 10 by 10 model, which we will also design and also give it, and they are low cost models what we are promoting. Similarly, the mini processing units can be done on paddy, millet, corn, bean, oil, cassava, turmeric, all these where all these machines are available. And red ram being the next crop, which is the kind of a cash crop for us, for the regular farmers. This would be like, you might be knowing the value, the price of red ram during the harvest, and also when it is processed, and also when it is available in the market. So the mini dal mill, which we also have, we have a set of 7 machines here doing all the process. And the turmeric value addition, we are yet to procure this turmeric this year, and we will be entering into turmeric value addition very soon. So this is the value chain what we can benefit if we can promote this small scale machineries at the rural areas. We also have a solar dehydrator at our unit. The purpose of incorporating this unit is because of to reach out to farmers who are into fruits and vegetables. And we also have a cold press oils unit, 2 units we have in our agriculture processing center, where we want to address the oil seed producers. There are a few other products which we can always motivate the entrepreneurs, saying that I'll just brush through the slides. This would be like value added products of all the commodities what you can really take it forward. And this all over the fruits and vegetables, cut vegetables, dry vegetables, squashes, juices, jams, and the cereal based products like flakes, popcorn, and vermicelli, and all these stuff can be also made. The spices, again, being another segment what we were addressing. We just started with the chili processing, and and we are yet to go into this format of this one, but we do have our own products, which I'll display in the last segment of my slides. So these are the confectionery which we would like to explore in this couple of months next coming season, because we are always procuring at the season and also coming up with new product lines every time to say that, okay, we are coming up with the new product and also going aggressively in the market. So as Amit said, we do teach from end to end. That's the specialization what we have. As you all know, pickles and all this stuff are very common. There's a lot of export opportunities for these two products, the moringa powder and the peanut butter, and which are yet to be explored again in this. And these are the segments where everyone can place yourself wherever you wish to. It can be like of a food business operators, whether you can be a producer, you can be a primary processor or the secondary processor or a manufacturer or a packing label. So all these are segments which can be taken forward. So coming to Agrigar, what we do here. So I'll just take few moments to have a small video, which is 1.5 minutes. So I think I'll have time that.
Yes.
Just check, tell me whether this audio is visible, or else I'll share the audio also later.
We can see the screen, ma'am, but
It's not playing, right?
not audible. Yeah.
Yeah, let it be. I'll share that slide, the presentation later. So this is our unit. Now we have surpassed all the primary hurdles of establishing a food processing unit, and yes, we are established in Chautauqua Industrial Estate, where we are trying to have an integrated skill center along with the production center. Our mission is to be one-stop platform, as I said earlier, to promote rural livelihoods through entrepreneurship and employment generation activities related to agri and allied sectors, and thereby scale up the rural economy. And through this journey, we would like to transform the agriculture using digital and technology interventions to achieve 1 lakh rural livelihoods in the coming decades journey. So how are we achieving this? We are targeting the unemployed youth, unemployed agriculture students, or anyone. We are having that segment of target where we want to train them as an skill development or ADP development center. We would like to place them in their rural areas and then go ahead with the enterprise development. As a one-stop enterprise development platform, we would like to offer end-to-end services which start from capacity building, which I was telling before, and also to the documentation support, and also facilitating the bank linkages for providing which loan scheme and which scheme should be linked to them. And yeah, continuous mentoring support would be there from us, and we will connect to organizations like Manage or any other VYST and everything. We are partnered with them, and I'm one of the incubatee of cohort 3. So I would always feel proud to say that I'm one of the incubatee of Manage. And this post-business support also, we are still expanding day by day, which like we are still yet to materialize these entrepreneurs or incubators, what we call, into their development of their enterprises, and then the post-business support comes forward. So we are addressing the sustainable development goals because UN has it's mandatory that we have to do, and the principles what we follow is Quest, because it's always the quest of how we are targeting it. Have to do is like the value proportion is like skill training and rural entrepreneurship through rural livelihoods and economic empowerment, and the traceability. We are soon coming up with the national products, and pesticide or residue or organic products we will soon come up. And the team was like, I'm the managing director, and Sivaram Krishna Prasad, who's my father, is the director of business operations, and we have the strong mentor board coming up. In fact, Radhika Meenakshi ma'am has been connected while I was doing the manage incubation, and Murli sir was my previous employer, and Gopal Krishna sir is always our mentor. The competitive advantage what we have as we place are is like we are strongly linked with the backward and forward linkages. I am strongly linked with the farmer producer organizations where this idea of putting up this processing industry came forward, and we are networked with partners like Manage or any other organizations like CSA. We have APMAs and all these CBBOs, like they are well placed in the community organizations. Now we are asking them to come for an exposure visit where we can establish food processing industry way back when they go back to their rural areas. And similarly, we have to do the technology initiatives and this one. So the approaches what we follow is like Awake, which is an awareness workshop what we do. It's kind of
Swamini ma'am, can you
yeah.
summarize presentation in next
Yeah.
1 minute?
Then yeah, this is the integrated hands-on training unit what we have. Our target audience are farmers, FPOs, SHG women, and the products and services which we will go fit with like awake exposure visits, training on machinery, product development, incubation program, and FPO consultancy, and also manufacturing as a service. So I'm just going through. You can note down the numbers which are there and reach out to the numbers which you will get the details. Even the FPO consultancy, what we would like to do is like if we can help out establishing such big industry also with them. And manufacturing as a service is like we are inviting all the agri entrepreneurs who are wishing to start off their entrepreneurship journey, taking our manufacturing as a service. They can, if they have a FPO, they can collect the produce and use our manufacturing as a service, which we have all the machinery where we are there. And I would rush to all the products what we are doing now. These are the products which we are doing now in our industry, and these can be also extra marketed with all the yeah. I would add my presentation saying that investments in agriculture are the best weapons against hunger and poverty, and they have made life better. Aggregator believes that every human being needs safe and hygienic food to live. Hence, working towards sustainable agriculture will always be a lucrative career option, while processing of agri commodities have a huge market. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I can take up further questions. You have my number
Thank
there.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Swamini. Definitely there will be questions. As do have very short time, but we'll be sharing your details with the participants and register this PPT as well. So I request participant put the questions. We'll take, if time permits, we'll take up. We'll check once again with the Dr. Preeti. Already she's there.
Am I
Ma'am, can you hear
audible?
me? Yeah, you're audible, ma'am. We're sharing your PPT, Pragya.
Yeah.
Ma'am, we have very short time now, but quickly you can focus
Sure,
on
I'm
the government
very sorry for
initiative.
this technical glitch. I'm using the
Yeah, you
WebEx
can
for the
focus
first
on
time.
the FPOs and how government interventions are there.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am, good to go.
So I will quickly go through the institutional support offered by the government and incubation support for entrepreneurship. Next. So as this is the agriculture major contribution in GDP, as we all know, and several industries are dependent on agriculture. It's world's largest producers, and its share in terms of exports is almost 284,000 CR. And FDI is also taken note on about 67,000 crores between year 2000 to 2019 in the agriculture sector. And the key challenges, as we know, in agriculture is the lowest yields, which is compared to other countries, it's less by 50%. And presence of numerous intermediaries in the value chain, and limited access in technology, credit, and marketplaces. Next. So as these are the challenges, there is a lot of scope in agripreneurship, and we should understand for the any interventions in agripreneurship, we should understand agri-value chain. And nowadays there is a shifting change trend we can see in agri-value chains. The next. There's a huge gaps between farmers and exporters in terms of inputs, infrastructure, storage, transportation, technology, finance, quality assurance, and trainings. So there's a lot of scope in agripreneurships for agricultural stakeholders. As these gaps in the unorganized sectors needs to be addressed, and many startups are foreseen in these areas. Next. So quickly I'll explain the value chain in agriculture describes the range of activities and set of actors that bring agricultural product from production in the field to final consumption, wherein at each stage value is added to the product. from pre-production, production, post-production till processing, there are set of actions by the set of factors to be performed. That has to be performed by the actors. Right from agri inputs, tillage operations to harvesting, then sales and marketing and processing. Next. So the current popular supply chain in India is in this manner: farmer, consolidator, traders, commission agents, consumers, wholesalers, retailers, and consumers, which is an unorganized and fragmented value chain, and it also cost high with high losses, and low processing and food safety concerns are seen in these value chains. Next. So now agripreneurship is a need of the hour because there's a lot of opportunities, as I told before, because there are huge gaps in the agri value chains. And all dependence on traditional crops and systems are advisable. Entrepreneurship in agriculture sector of agripreneurship is the order of the day. Tremendous opportunities in terms of agriculture, allied sectors, sericulture, dairy farming, beekeeping. Horticulture sector is also gaining a lot of importance, coming up with new ventures, and need agro and food processing for their income enhancement, as Dr. Swamini said. Next. So government is putting a lot of efforts, and it has been seen significant change in last few decades. So this is a picture like this can be self-explanatory. Startups are the opportunity owners leading to self-reliance for agriculture and food businesses. So 1,000 crore seed startup fund has been allotted by the government. AIF is doing great job in agripreneurships, giving collateral free loans. Doubling of farmers' income, which is a great initiative by Government of India. 10,000 through 10,000 farmers, farmer producer companies. An agri stack and data ecosystem has been developed, and it has been supported by some government initiatives. Next. So these are the areas where, like in Manage, the course is conducted. Agripreneurship is mobilized through ACBC schemes, agri startups, AMI, PMFME, PM Matsya Kisan Yojana, NLM, food processing, aquaculture, horticulture, farm gate infrastructures by FPOs, tie up with AIF and other convergence models. Like in Maharashtra, we have smart scheme. We are converging with AIF and other NHM schemes in Maharashtra. For contract farming, government is supporting in a huge way supply chain and all types of value addition through PMFME schemes. Next. So this is a Prime Minister Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, which is a tool for income generation and employment. So you can see the structure. Loan has been given in terms of Shishu, Kishore and Tarun up to 10 lakhs. Next. So NABARD is playing a main role in agripreneurships, and it has been catalytic capital assistance to the incubators, and it supported 700 incubators till now, 225 startups directly and indirectly, 3 lakh farmers and youth, helped in establishing connect of 150 investors with incubators of funding support, and it has launched RKVY-RAFTAAR for agriculture business in Agribusiness Incubators and RKVY-RABI in 2019. Agri Accelerator Fund about 5 lakhs and for the idea stage and 25 lakhs for the seed stage it has been granting. So DPIIT, Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, it has also promoted 98,000 startups, and in almost 56 sectors. Next. So producer organizations are playing a big role nowadays in agripreneurship, and in Maharashtra, it's a buzzword nowadays. For agripreneurship, there are a lot of opportunities, and government is playing a huge role in supporting and mobilizing these organizations. Due to why organizations are formed, because it's a net zone area, saturation, dwindling land resources, irrigation is about 50% of NSA, resulting in lesser cropping intensity, government active role in last 75 years, shrinking land holding, and smallholders, perishable nature of agri-commodities, marketing issues, and risk for farmers. So these gaps have been identified and addressed through farmer producer organizations nowadays. Next. So as the agriculture is an unorganized sector, and we are coming through a lot of federations, and SHGs have been given a legal structure uh, who were formed by primary producers like farmers, milk producers, fishermen, weavers, rural artisans, and craftsmen. So this is a generic name of an organization of producers of any produce, agricultural, non-farm produce, artisan, and products. So producer organizations is a generic term, and for agriculture, it's named as farmer producer organizations. Next. So these are the essential features as we are having less time. So it's a legal entity. The surplus, rest of the surplus is added to its own funds for business expansion. Part of the profit is shared. It works for the benefit of producers, and deals with business activities related to the primary produce. Farmers are the shareholders and members of the company, and this is formed only by farmers. Next. So these are the demand drivers in agri and food processing industries. Increasing spending on food products, growing nuclear families, rising demand functional food, rise in the demand for the functional food, and changing demographics, increasing urbanization, lifestyle and aspirations, and modern trade formats. So these are the demand
Yeah,
drivers. Yeah,
Dr. Preeti, actually, I request actually to
sure.
complete your
Yeah,
presentation in 5 minutes, as time is
next.
already there, but we have to take some questions as well, ma'am. If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can little bit focus on the FPOs and
yeah.
that schemes on government side, ma'am. Yeah,
Next.
community side.
So going to the next slide. Next. So these are some venture capitalists you might be aware for agripreneurships. Omniware, Avishkar, Small Enterprise Assistance Fund, Biotechnology, Industrial Partner Program, Small Business Innovation, Biotechnology, Ignition Grants, Technopreneur Promotion Program. Next. So these are the focus areas which we have got a lot of potential in terms of agriculture. The incubation support is offered by these agencies. Next. So the support is offered in terms of infrastructure, capacity building, technical mentoring, business mentoring, regulatory, IPR facilitation, networking, and funding. Next. So coming up to the MSME, government is also supporting MSME in large scale, which is defined in the terms of investment and turnover, micro, small, and medium. Next. And these are the agencies I will be discussing who are supporting the MSMEs and small businesses. So DIC is District Industries Centers, which is supported by Industry Promotion Officer, and they work under Directorate of Industries. So subsidy schemes, DIC assist SSI units and rural artisans to get subsidies as the power subsidy, interest subsidy, and for engineers. And technocrats and women are given preferences. Pre-investment, investment, and post-investment assistance is given to the entrepreneur under one roof. Next. MSME DIs, development institutions. So these are the institutions, field institutions of Development Commissioner, MSME, Ministry of MSME, Government of India. These are MSME DIs and branches set up in all the states. And they guide for entrepreneurs for selection of product, location, raw material, machinery, layout, production, processes, and managerial consultancies. EDPs and MDPs and various skill development programs are also going through them.
Yeah,
Next.
ma'am, I think what I'll do, I will share the PPT with the participants.
Okay.
We should give at least 5 minutes time to, have the questions so that they will interact with you, the attendees. Is it fine, ma'am?
Okay, fine.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you, Preeti ma'am. I think it's a very great combination today. We have that startups who are dealing with the farmers, FPOs are there, and at one side you are from there, from the government end to how in a way different initiatives are there. And thank you for mentioning in what way the government for I must say for your presentation. So with this, I'll take a few questions. Due to time constraint, I'll not able to take much more questions. But yeah, the very first question is there, coming to the Mayank, that you already dealing with the mushroom and in the mushroom and seed to to the market process. So how exactly you try to keep more motivation between the farmers? How you are keeping more engaged to the farmers? That will be the key for the any startups, because most of the participants of the startup end or maybe the FPOs representatives are there. So in what way there has to be relation between the FPO and like your startup so that that community will be alive?
Yeah, so thank you for this question. So as we see how FPO works on ground, so if we see FPO is a hybrid model. It's a kind of it's taking good things of cooperative as well as good things of company structure, and it's coming to life that way. So how we deal with these things is that so how current FPOs are being formed, we are very clear of the fact that there is already some communities which already exist, and there is either some implementing agency previously there or some CBBO who is facilitating that. So it becomes very important to keep that social fabric intact. So there are various ways of interacting with them. When we come to mushroom model, how we deal with it. So first of all, we introduce mushroom because it's a short-term crop, and given the favorable ecosystem we have in Bihar, so government of Bihar, for anybody who is interested in mushroom on an initial basis, is offering 90% subsidy to any grower. So when we bring mushroom as an approach to growers or to farmers, what we see is the first is yes, we do hyper local demand supply gap assessment, and we see that there is immense potential. Uh,
Again.
we, we see immense potential hyper locally only, that there is a drive, and if we produce it, we can definitely sell it. That is the first thing. Second thing is that button mushroom from ready to grow bags, the compost bags we have, it takes around 75 days to complete its complete life cycle.
Yeah, I think Mayank,
So
you talked about it in your presentation. My question is that how, in a way, you can just
so
get.
that's what I'm coming to. Yeah, so that's what I'm. So
Yeah,
when we see in mushrooms, so people getting returns from 30th or 45-day onwards, so that keeps
yeah.
them interested there, that they're getting short-term gains.
I
And
think that's what actually help you, to that the trust is built between your startup and with the
yes,
community.
yes,
That's
yes.
something yeah, we got your
So
point
they have
there.
a very
And
quick turnaround time.
exactly. And few of the participants are looking to connect with you. Maybe that queries are related with mushroom production and maybe with export. So yeah, I'm not able to take up their questions, but I will be happy to connect, and we have shared the details as well of the Mayank in the chat box or other speakers so that you can connect with you. So sorry, Dr. Viram, and there is question from the Purushottam. You may connect with Mayank maybe in meanwhile time. I have one question to Dr. Swamini, ma'am, if you are there. Ma'am, you rightly mentioned that various activities are being performed under the one startup aggregate, that is that too into the rice mill processing, or that too into the cold press and the fruit processing, spices. So, what would be your advice maybe to the any community, because they have their own specialty? Should they focus on the one special processing part, or maybe into value addition part, or they do have diversification in their own community, or maybe with the farmer producers group? What will be your suggestion, ma'am?
Yeah. In fact, this I have to start off with my own journey. I thought I'll put up a very big millet processing industry few years back when I started the my startup journey. But due to COVID, we had like a lot of hiccups coming up, and it was not a kind of very motivating story for the millets. Now, even now, the millet industry is going on. So this is a model which I put up, like even if something one is not working, the other would work, and as an amalgamation it would do. I'm proposing this to everyone also in the same format. See, it may not be the all the 6 or 8 units what we are having at our this one, but you'll have a temporary. The my suggestion for your question is like always go for at least 2 or 3 models with the second crop. Are you going to sell in the market again like previous? No. So you have to enter into the valuation of the second crop or the third crop. That's the reason I'm asking you to go for a amalgamation of 2 or 3 models where you can say, okay,
Yeah,
for everything you
so
have a value
Dr.
addition
Swamini, I
there.
have to summarize that you were right that you should have the diversification, at least A,
Yes,
B, C
yes, yes.
plans to be in place. So that will help you to minimize your risk. So we got your point, ma'am. Thank you. So I'll come to the last question to the Dr. Preeti ma'am, as she is a very, very important stakeholder in this all community engagement and the farmers. So Dr. Preeti, you mentioned something, there is a fund corpus of 100 crores is there for the startup seeds. And in what way they can utilize for the to make availability, to make benefit to the farmers and producers. If you can give a little idea quickly on this part, ma'am.
Yeah, startup seed fund is utilized through incubators, uh, as I said, through Rabies and RKVY-RAFTAAR, which is also one of the incubation center manages holding charge of it. And through Rabies, the startup seed fund is utilized all over the nation.
Yeah, and quickly, ma'am, I want to go to the next more question, that 10,000 startup CBO formation is there. So in what way you are thinking, in what way it is going? What was your personal experience? Whether really these clusters or the APUs are coming and approaching how to you? So you can give your insights on that.
Yeah, the initiative is doing very well, and the mission is up to 2025, and there is a already we have achieved the target of 10,000 FPOs, and successfully the ventures have been set up, and the government is also offering great support in terms of their skill development and finances, access to finance, and technology support. So, in smart scheme, like I was there as a project director, there uh, we sanctioned almost 1,000 FPOs under the smart scheme, and we gave them infrastructural facilities subsidies up to 60%. Yeah.
Right now, yeah, the government is also very much involved under this CBO scheme. We do Wiki, PMFME, and all, or AIF scheme. So many initiatives are there from the government. Only think, hope the way through startups or maybe through institutions like us who are playing a bridge between the farmers, startups, we are there. And this is what the intention to conduct the webinar, to connecting these all stakeholders on the same platform, along with the attendees who are there. It's a mixed group of startup FPO representatives. So I would say once again, it's time to come to the over. I would must say thank you to all the three speakers. With a short time, actually, you try to deliver the message to the participants. And really apologize with the participants are not able to take up so many questions due to time constraint. But we have put the speakers' details in the chat box. You can connect with them. And last but not least, do not do not forget to follow our social media pages, where you will get the regular updates from our end. And one more announcement is there: today and tomorrow is the last day to apply for digital marketing training program. Next Monday, we're going to start that 6th batch. So if you want to enroll this training program, just check out that link on our website. So with this, I would say thank you once again to the speakers and all attendees for being with us and attending this webinar. And thank you my team as well. Thank you.
So Dr. Saumini and Dr. Preeti madam, both thank you for joining, and also Mr. Mayank. It's nice to see you, all of you. Thank you very much. It's nice to see you.
Thank you, sir, and nice to see you.